Alrighty. Hello everybody, hopefully you're all doing well. Let me just make sure this is live before we set anything up. We're gonna be in it for a little bit today. Just give it a couple minutes here. God, the volume, I just blasted myself in the air, it's a little bit loud. Hopefully for you guys it isn't too bad. Now let me check the sites to make sure that everything is a-okay. We got red site. Okay, that's muted. Red site's a go. Purple site. Let's try this. Speaking of, I also just made an account on Kick, so we'll see if I start multi-streaming there. Okay, look at that. Purple site is a go too. We're gonna mute that. Great, perfect. Hopefully everything else is working fine. And then just give me a minute here and we will set up the screen capture. But hello everybody. I know it's been a minute. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Also, I'm really debating if I should start putting a post out on YouTube so people see. You know what? Let me put out a little post. We'll see. Why not? Okay, then let me set up a little connection for the iPad. Sorry about not being there for the past couple of days. Just got really busy with some stuff. And then figured, you know what? Got everything done with for today. So we're just going to spend as much time as we can. Well, actually, I'm probably going to try 3, maybe 4 hours today. Make up for some lost time because I feel bad, right? But also I need to get some crap done. So we're going to work first and foremost on the Smuggle on a drawing we did last week. Because I feel like that I don't want to keep pushing it off. And then we're going to work on some other stuff. Right. Yeah, but hopefully everyone's doing alright. Come on. Do your thing, iPad. Oh, I hate technology so much. God damn, get in the hole. Hello? Mr. Port HDMI cable? Get in the hole before I kill. Okay, good. I never claimed to be good at technology. No, I was also debating if I should put out a post on YouTube. I mean, I don't really know, because that's not necessarily where the audience is from. But, like, maybe. I don't know if there's some people who are necessarily missing it, who want to know. I don't know if it really does anything, though. Do posts on YouTube do that? Because I put the ones on Twitter, right? Okay, come on. Plug in. There we go. And then let me connect this damn thing. Just give me a moment. But happy Friday, everybody. At least that's where it is for me. Okay. We will open a new tab. Android cast. There we go. Now, I know I said I was going to set up that multi-audio track music. We're going to work on it. One of these days I will be able to play music that isn't copyright free. The VODs will be quiet, but that's whatever. Fortunately not today. Shouldn't be too bad. It's a setting in the OBS, which is a pain. That's the only issue, is OBS is an interesting species to work with. Okay, there we go. We're connecting now. We'll see if that works. Start broadcast. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Andiamo. There we go. Everything is working properly. Move! Get away. Okay, there we go. I swear to God. My iPad is trying to test me. My iPad is trying to test my patience, but we are not going to let it today, okay? Let me just make sure that this little text pop-up is working right. I won't need that for now. I'll need it later. When we work on Smuggle on, it's fine, but I also have some other crap that we're going to be doing, so, yeah. Also, for anybody who didn't see it, that was the skew thing. I posted that earlier this week. Right, there we go. From Military Monday. Just figured out that show now. And then we're going back to be working on the Smugglana drawing from, where was it? Here we go. This one here. So I had two different versions in mind. Obviously, we had like the rain and the clouds and that sort of a thingamajig. But I also had an idea. So if we're doing rain and we're also doing sun pattern, and then we could do like a moon and star pattern, like two different versions. I may be trying to overcomplicate life, but if we've learned anything about me, it's that I don't do things the easy way. So, I'm kind of curious. Zoom in for another thing. I was working with very like limited line art space essentially. They're just like not a lot that you can do. So I'm curious how bad it is if it's very, very zoomed in and pixelated, because I mean you can still tell what a drawing is, but okay, so even when it is less pixels, it's not actually that bad. Let me show y'all. It was this collection here, stuff that I was working on, but from further away, like this, you guys aren't going to get any clues. But from a snippet from last time, y'all saw part of this. And I mean, some of this is more pixelated, but I feel like even then, it's not too bad. Like, it doesn't, unless I zoom in really, really far, you can tell that it's pixels. But for the most part, even from like here, that's not crazy bad. I don't know, I might be blind, but because normally I set the canvas like to a massive size, but for this I couldn't. There was restrictions. Okay, let's go back to the other one at least. I won't bore you. Maybe one more. We'll start flashing to another one. No context. You're not getting any context. Okay, now I'm going back for real. We're gonna go over here. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna figure out what the hell it is I'm doing. Let's pull up the Smugglana reference. We need to figure what we're doing. Okay. So we could do stockings. That one. She does have. This one she doesn't have anything, but there is that thigh band. Right. However, usually the legs are relatively simple. So like I could keep these ones just bare, essentially. Right? That would be doable. Or do I do anything with them? Because, like, you know what I had in mind was that we have some kind of drapey jewelry, like something coming down like this. Wait, that's way too small. Let me redo that. Something coming down like this, right? Drapey jewelry, yada yada yada, and not necessarily something on the leg, but it does frame the body. Like that might be interesting. You know, let's go with that. Because I feel like if this is a flying fox sort of Smugglana variant, then there's not really a reason for shoes or even like leg wear, just from a practical standpoint, because if you're flying, there's no point. Right. At least I feel like I wouldn't necessarily. I still might wear shoes just because I'm weird that way. But from a practical standpoint, there's not really any reason to, right? Okay. So now I need to do something before I get like indecisive blindness, and I'm just stuck here deciding. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the hair and tail and stuff, and then we can add the rest of the details afterwards, because I feel like that's the base. There's not really room to keep complaining on that, right? Like you just... No, it's way too big. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, and then we have another hair swoop here. Something like that. erase this bit. That doesn't need to be there. Erase more of it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, just like a little hair swoop. Or should I carve out, yeah, more of hair like this? And then we will erase that. Dun, 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 dun. The monsters. Also, I don't necessarily know how many Epic fans we have, however. God, Jorge, the creator of Epic Musical, was putting out a couple snippets of new stuff he's working on for the prequel, Ilium. And there was one I think Amelie covered, or it was just like an unofficial quick cover. It was like a minute long at most. And I've just been playing it on repeat. Oh my god, if you follow me on Twitter, I made a post about it. So I've got that stuck in my head. If we could play music, that would definitely be what I was playing. Right, it didn't have to be copyright free, or I had the audio track figured out so that I wouldn't record in the VOD and we'd be safe. I'd be playing that on repeat. You guys would want to shoot me by the end of stream, but I would be enjoying it. Okay, right, what are we doing with the hair again? Some kind of wavy or like swoopy. That's right, like this is clouds. Okay, so from there. I feel like I definitely added some hair going out like this. Maybe I should make her have like really long hair and it kind of like billow in the wind. Maybe that's how we sort of exaggerate the windiness of it, right? We have long billowing hair. Yeah, maybe that's too far. Get rid of this side, and then it kind of weaves back and forth, right? So it has that billowing wind effect. Also another thing, let me grab a cough drop. I don't know what it is. I was on call with somebody for a couple hours yesterday, so my throat is absolutely wrecked, and I've been having to do presentations and that sort of crap for something recently. So I may be popping cough drops like it's going out of style. Honestly, it hasn't been too bad today, at least. Okay. Erase this inside bit here. And we'll have, you know, like a separate bit of hair coming up. It's way too big. Okay. Erase that. I'm gonna rotate the canvas for absolutely no reason, because I like to be difficult, but that's okay. God damn it. Also, if on Twitch, I know the profile or channel page is a little bit different. I was editing it and I didn't have time to add like new images or that sort of thing because I'm going to be adding more links and all that sort of jazz, and I updated the rules. Nothing crazy, just reformatting it because I want to add more to the description about section, and then we'll be adding some more art there soon so it looks nicer. We're going to zhuzh it up, give it some more pizzazz. So I apologize in the interim, it'll look a little confusing, or maybe just a little bit barren. Maybe a little unsettling. Maybe that's what I want. Okay. Okay. I don't have billowy hair. Maybe we have like a little swoop, right? Swoops like that. No, that's too big of a swoop. No. Or do I just keep it like that? Maybe we'll line it like this. There we go. Swoops like that. We'll erase this bit. Also, this is a bit of a random question. However, I know y'all are here for the art, but if the odd time, probably not right now, but in the future, if I were to start playing games, I mean, I do in my off time a little bit here and there, but if we were streaming that, would that be something of interest? Because, like, even so, if that's something that I can spend more time with y'all, or, you know, give you something to watch or pay attention to, that'd be nice. Like Marvel Rivals, or even Deadlock. Got invite to. I was playing that a bunch recently, and it just feels like I'm being unproductive. I'm just playing games, but then that way, y'all can see it too. I don't know, we can turn some of it into shorts and that sort of a thing, but I don't necessarily know. Okay, now do I want to have the wisps like that? Maybe I can get rid of this one. And we'll add just like a little swirl. Maybe the original one was better. What the hell was I thinking? Is that alright? Or what if I grab this? Okay, I'm gonna use my brain cells. We're gonna grab this, and then we're gonna warp it. Like so. We're gonna stretch it out. Okay. Like this, and we can just erase these together. Or do that, whatever the hell else. That's fine. Also, the background music reminds me of Persona. I don't know what it is. I feel like I may be a bit of a crackhead for thinking that, but it sounds vaguely Persona-y to me, and I don't know if that's just hallucinations on my part. And not anymore, when that like beep, or this, when this specifically happens. It sounds like Persona to music to me. I don't know if I want the swirls, you know what? Swirl might be too much. We're gonna get rid of that. We'll just fold this in like that. And it'll come up like so. Honestly, what this hairstyle also reminds me of is one of the newer characters in Reverse 1999, if anybody plays that. exactly what the character's name is, but the, like, Paris update, or essentially like the French update where they introduced the one with like the crystal disease. Her hair looks like that. I forgot the name. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me clear this up. I don't want my line art to be too thick, because I feel like that's what's causing issues with a lot of my art. Is that the line art is not clean, and it's sort of ruining the final product. Cleaning this up. No, that's way too much. And then I can erase this bit on the cheek. Because I feel like I originally had the face a little bit sharper, but I feel like that doesn't make sense if I want it to be more like soft, airy, cloud-like, right? Because you don't want the features to be too sharp then. This is shading I can add later, but whatever. We'll do that, just add like a little tiny bit of depth. And then, from there, I don't know if I should add like really cloudy, fluffy hair sort of a thing, like puffs that are leaving. Like maybe that's what I do. And I add like a bit of cloudiness to it, right? And like it's fluff that's leaving the ears and floating. Because she does have the fire in this one, so like it's not completely inaccurate. Maybe this bit at the end is a little excessive, but do I add that, and then do I add like a bit underneath it or behind it? No, that's too far out, there's no point. So then what I do here is we can erase this, or, you know what? This is where we can add a tiny bit underneath, right? And then I just take a really tiny eraser, right? Then we go here, and we erase that bit behind it. Right? Or you can carve this out a little bit so it looks more natural. Okay. Maybe we add like a little swirl here. Or maybe something kind of cloud-like, right? Just a little swirly bit. Alright, there we go. So the ear fluff will start to look cloud-like. Although I don't know how many swirls is too many swirls. I feel like I shouldn't add too many. Right, like we can shade the puffs and stuff later, but I don't want too many swirls on it. Let's try that. And we can clear up this bit. Oh, what it was I was thinking with this piece here. I don't know if that's supposed to be hair or something else. Like, I'm incredibly curious what past Sheshire was thinking, because I feel like I'm a bit of an idiot. I mean, like, do I have hair traipsing here, perhaps, or... Or is that additional hair, like, from behind? But no, I don't see it that way. Yeah, like, you know what, we can get rid of that. Let's just clear this up. Keep it simple, stupid. Great motto. Great advice. A lot of people forget that making it overcomplicated does not necessarily help. Although I will say, I saw a video about the reverse 1999 art style, and then the way that they do it so well is that it looks simple from the outside, and it is, but as you zoom in, you're essentially rewarded for zooming in because there's more and more detail, right? Excuse me, so to illustrate, like let's say for example there's like this sort of like gray black clothing, whatever, it just looked like essentially like a flat gray pattern from far away, right? It doesn't overclutter the design, but let's say you zoom in, and the gray pattern is actually lots of like little tiny small patterns and that sort of a thing, right? That's kind of what the art style is, like you're rewarded for zooming in, whereas from far away it's just like a gray blob. I feel like I should start learning to incorporate that. Okay. I need to make that way bigger. I don't know why it's so small. No, it's a little bit big. There we go. Perfect. Now we're just going to make this lighter so I can trace over it. Canvas is crooked. That's not helping. Still looking fine? Okay. So then from here, hair like that. Okay. And then we will combine this down here and connect it. Come on. Go gadget lines. You know, I think the long flowy hair stuff is working. But I think instead of whatever the hell I was doing here, I'll just make it go like this, and then they'll start to separate towards the bottom. Or I'll have it curl like that. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Happy to have you here joining us today, Friday. We're just drawing some Smugglana stuff. We're turning the the Frostfire Fox into a Sky Fox. If you're new here, my name is Sheshire, the Devil's Not So Funny Jester. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Okay, so from here, I don't want to add too many unnecessary lines in the hair, right? Because it's just going to clutter it. Now I feel like what my stupid self could do is shrink the brush size, because that would probably help. There we go. Ba-da-da. And then we'll have that. You know, we're just going to make this part of the sleeve go all the way out. Just push it towards the edge of the frame. If you're going to do it, do it. Kai, hey, just going to watch you while doing chores. Happy weekend. Oh, thanks so much. Pleasure to have you here. You know what? If I'm in the background or if you're watching me, it doesn't make a difference to me. As long as you're here, we're happy to have you. The smooth, dulcet, schizophrenic tones in my voice. Oh, God. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm a little loopy today. Speaking of, I need to get some chores done after this. You just reminded me. Okay, we're in it for the long haul today, so depending on how busy you are, I might still be going. Right, I unfortunately couldn't stream for the past couple of days, but we're going to make up for it today with an extra long stream, and we're going to work on all sorts of stuff that I normally would work on when I'm not streaming anyways, because I figure if I'm going to do it, might as well be productive and stream while I'm doing so. Okay, that brush is way too big, I need to shrink it. Yeah, welcome on in everybody. Hopefully you're all having a good Friday at least, and getting to the weekend. If you are working, hopefully you're working soon. If you're not working, hopefully you get to veg. Extra long stream? Yeah, normally I aim for like the 2-hour mark just because my schedule is a little busy, but this weekend especially, I might even consider streaming for like 5-6 hours. Maybe a little bit more, because technically if I'm not really doing anything else on the weekend and I'm going to be working on this stuff anyways, I might as well stream it. Tonight I'm probably thinking 3 to 4 hours. But yeah, we'll see how long the internet connection holds in hell, because it's not exactly great down here. Okay, now maybe I should blend this, because I feel like these lines are they're a little funky looking. It's also because my brush is a little bit too big, so let me adjust that. Also, another random thing, do you guys have any specific flavors you enjoy when you're getting cough lozenges or like throat candy? I feel like I'm the same way with tea, but like a honey lemon thing for me is my absolute favorite. I have ones that I'm just scarfing down today to help with my throat. So I remember back in the day I had a family member who was in the hospital and they had a really, really bad cough, so I went out and I bought like 100 different brands. It was like the guy at the convenience store gave me like the look up and down like with a stink eye, and I was going, shut up. Take my money and shut up. And we tried like every single cough drop on the planet. I'm not kidding. There were 100 different packs. And I feel like most of them taste absolutely disgusting. Right? So I've just stuck with like the one brand ever since, and it's been a couple years now and I haven't tried any new flavors. I feel like, I don't know, is that something they experiment with? Are cough drops like candy flavors? Do they try and put out new ones ever so often? I feel like I'm overthinking this. I definitely am. I'm always overthinking this crap. We'll just do a line from here. There we go. Just start arcing it out from the middle. Just go like that. There we go. That's much better. And then I will have the line arc like this. We'll do it more closer to original model, so that makes more sense. Okay. So from there, move on from that piece of hair because I feel like I'm wasting my time. Let's go back to this long strand here. And we're going to erase this bit. No, now it's too small. Need to make it a little bit bigger. Gonna draw like so. Okay, come on. I don't see. And then we will trace it like this. Stay there. There we go. Okay, that loop is fine, I feel like for the most part. I can maybe add like a little bit that separates off here at the end. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, not curvy enough. Let's curve that some more. Okay. I feel like that curved more, but it doesn't make any sense now. Okay, let's just erase it. We're gonna restart. Erase it, add like a little loop. Like that. Little loop-de-loop. Arc it more this way, because the hair is gonna be flowing towards the left side of the body. Right? And there we go. And then we'll just get rid of this inner line. I feel like that makes more sense. We can add a bit here. At least I think. Yeah, okay. We can also cut down on the extra, like, thick line art for no reason. I don't know why I'm doing that. Da, da, da. Yeah, so like this whole bit with the sleeve can be condensed down. Like if your elbow's here. There you go. Erase that, and that's all hair. Your arm is coming down this way. Let me just make sure the anatomy isn't horribly effed up. Arm is coming down this way. Which means this is basically straight now. Okay. I see. Said the blind man to his deaf wife. There we go. We'll erase more of this just to clean it up. But she will clean it up. Okay. So from there, we're gonna fix this funky elbow. Because he had arcs like that, but that does not make any sense. Unless I point it out, so it goes like that, and then we raise this bit. Like so. No, that's way too small. Why is it so small? Nobody make any jokes. Be mature. I know I say it a lot. Okay. So, from that sleeve, I feel like I need to stop. I need to move on from the sleeve. We did that. And then I can just, honestly, just make this more straight shot. I can just make this like a straight fall down. Dun, 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 dun. Do I have this split off again? Like another bit of hair? Because you really want to, what, like exaggerate the flow of it? Or do I just keep it like that? Maybe I just keep it like that, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And then I can erase this bit. That's unnecessary there. We're going to clean up and polish the hair. So we're going to continue with the line here on the hair. I feel like the brush is way too thick again, but oh well, it's too late to change. So now we're going to rotate it and give you all epileptic seizures because I whip my screen around 360 degrees for no reason. And then erase from the outside like so. So now from there, I should probably continue with the face on the rest of the head. Or do I clean up the sleeve? I feel like I need to clean up the sleeve, it's bothering me. So from there, if I have a sleeve like this, there we go. Sleeve doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to make sense. Right, sisters, not twins. Doesn't have to look exactly like it should be, but should still look like a rough anatomy. I don't know what I'm saying. It should still look anatomically correct to some extent. Okay. Now then, from there, let's get rid of this line I drew because I was drawing where the arm would line up. And then polish where the hair meets it because I feel like that was my pet peeve earlier. And we'll have it fall down. Maybe I can make the hair arc a little bit less. Pivot. Pivot. So I don't know why I say that, because I've literally never seen Friends before in my life, but I still know it. I don't know what it is, I will quote things without ever actually having seen them before. But I feel like that's most people, right? Nowadays, with like clips and TikToks and stuff, you hear a sound bit from something you've never heard before and you repeat it all the time. Like, I feel like there's a clip of something, I don't know what, oh, start digging in your butt, twin, that's what it was. I don't even know what that means, right? It doesn't mean pull something out of your arse or some crap. And I was saying that to like a family member, or they were saying, they were goofing off to me or whatever, and I said that. And they were like, oh god, you're so old, that's from like a year ago. And I only found out about it recently. It goes to show I'm basically an old man, right? I'm young, but I say I'm like spiritually 87 years old. Okay, let's make a smaller brush and then fix this god-awful line. That is not a smaller brush. What the hell am I doing? Smaller brush. And I'm not, you might be saying just use a preset, right? You just hold it here and you leave a preset like that, so then that way you know what size you can use, but then that way I can't adjust it. Like if I want it a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, it instantly jumps back to the preset. I tried doing that, it did not work out. I wanted to throw my computer out a window. More than usual. I feel like that most days, but especially on that day. Oh god, I think my rambling's starting to catch up to me. Let me pop another cough drop. I'm gonna keep the freaking cough medicine companies in business. I don't even have a cold, but they've stopped my throat from hurting. I don't know if you should be doing this, but I once had actual cough medication while I was cold, and I had like 30 times the recommended amount. I was fine. Stomach hurt a little bit, but I survived. Okay, and smaller eraser. Let's clean up inside here. Now, I feel like, let me rotate this again. I'm gonna give you all whiplash. We're turning the canvas 106 degrees. Sorry about that. Okay. We're gonna make this strand a little bit bigger, right? No. Let's try this again. Said we're gonna make this strand a little bit bigger. Nope, it doesn't line up. I swear to God, iPad, you're gonna cooperate with me today, and you're not gonna be difficult. We're gonna make this strand a little bit bigger. We're we're gonna erase the inside. Right? Okay. Like that. Like so. Maybe that works. Do we need to make it bigger still? I don't know. Chat, what are we thinking? I'm an indecisive wench. Oh, I just moved it to the right. I asked your opinion, then I shoved it off screen. I mean, like, Okay, what if I add maybe more of like a 3D-ness to this, right? So like it swoops forward maybe a little bit more. I'm also realizing when I go to duck to draw, I'm like walking away from the tracker. So YouTube Studio can't track my beautiful motions. I need to like remember to turn myself towards the camera. Yo, stupid human technology is very confusing to me. There we go, look at that. Maybe that works a little bit better. Let me erase this stupid line. Okay, and then maybe we have a bump like so, right? And then that way, this part underneath is going to be dark again in gray, I'll remember that, but just that we can clean up unnecessary line art. Because we can save the shading for the shading layer, right? And then we will go back to this little swoop, the little swoopy part. Swoop. Okay. We're gonna do that. Neck's a little thick looking, but maybe I shrink that. Is the neck a little thick? Yeah, maybe the neck was a little thick. That's okay. It'll be hair. Sorry, I will have epic musical music stuck in my head. One of these days, maybe tomorrow during my extra long stream, we're going to figure out how to separate the audio tracks in OBS, so then that way I can play non-copyright music. But until then, you're just going to have to hear me and deal with the humming. Which is unfortunate. You know what, maybe when we finally separate the audio tracks, you guys can recommend music too, and that way I can listen to it while I draw. I feel like that'd be fun. Okay. Now then, am I screwing up the line art? Just a little bit. We are erasing this, just a little bit. Need to remember the bangs actually don't really have anything to do with that strand going down towards the neck and the shoulder. Right, so just gonna keep these separate. Erase this bit. And then erase this other bit. It's more swoopy. I don't know if that's an adjective, swoopy. You know what I mean, the hair swoops. So from there, let me look at the hair. Interesting, I see. She's like 3 pixels, but I understand. Now this may be a very deep cut, but I was debating giving her like twin tails or something. But I feel like that'd be much too different from Miss Alana's original design. Okay. Okay, so you know what, we'll do this, and then I will erase the line in the middle. We'll just keep going. Get rid of the unnecessary gray. Okay, then maybe do the same thing here. We'll add like a layer in the background with the hair swooping. It would fall somewhere like this. There we go. Now, I don't want to make that line too thick, but maybe I bring this down a little bit to kind of match what the other side did. Alright, something like that. Okay. I could have a line that goes all the way up, but I don't really want to. What I could do is we're going to make this arch more archy. Bring it down a little bit and make the curve more dramatic. No, stop straightening. I don't want you to be straight. Okay. So from here. No, stop straightening, you little biatch. Now, from here, let's make this more swoopy, because I feel like it's very disconnected right now. There isn't any flow. No, stop straightening out. Like this, maybe. There we go, and then that hair strand kind of connects inwards. So then from there, erase that. Maybe we'll make this arc out much further. Like that, perhaps? Does that work, maybe? And then from here, maybe it's connected not as far. No. Maybe this works. I feel like that works. Chat, am I rambling? That's a dumb question, I know I am. But, oh god. I'm a bit of a yapper. I could probably turn a 30-second story into a Greek tragedy. It would also help if I made the brushes a little bit smaller. Then I feel like in daily life when I'm talking to people I'm extremely precise. Like I hate wasting time, I'll just be like, the least amount of words possible will be used. And then on stream I run my mouth like a mile a minute. And there's no in between. Okay. We can polish up the hair then. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I feel like hair, and then once that's done, the hair and face stuff, we just do the bottom half, and then the clouds that are trailing off the sleeves. And then we're going to do the badge stuff in the middle. Or like the sash, the big bow, that sort of a thing, right? Because there's a good big thing in the middle here. You can see that on Alana's original outfit. There's that big bow in the middle, right? Same thing with the fire outfit. There's always that big bow in the middle. So we're going to have some sort of a centerpiece, but I was thinking what it's going to do is draw two versions. We're going to have one like a day version where it's clouds, raining, and the sun, and then maybe a night version where it's the moon, stars, and clouds. Something like that. I think that makes sense. And then it's the same base either way, because I was thinking of including lots of different things, but I feel like if I throw in star designs, clouds, moon designs, rain, it'll get a little bit confusing or a bit too much, because I feel like there's too many different themes clashing. Because I already have like the poofy cloud, sort of a, I don't know, like a band on the end of the kimono. Right, like how she has fur here. Instead of fur, it's basically clouds, because instead of being like an ice or a fire fox, we're turning into a sky fox. So I think that's what we'll do. And then her tail is going to be like more fluffy and cloud-like. She'll be sitting on it like she's flying. Same thing with the ears. Instead of, like on this one they're on fire, and this one there's like clouds trailing out of them. So I think that should be okay. But first, we need to polish up the face and the hair. Because once the base is done, we can get to everything else. And then right, there needs to be some sort of a necklace. I need to figure out what we're doing for that too. Right, chat, thank you for reminding me. Okay, you know what, let me grab a bit of water right here. Drink some. Remember to hydrate and drink your water. Oh, sorry. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick that up. And you freaks didn't hear it. Okay. So from there... what am I going to focus on? Let's clean up this bit right here. So we'll just start erasing it and smoothing the lines out. This curve here. Okay. Clean up the bangs and everything else. I'm going to make a much smaller brush. We'll get like a little tiny one. And sorry, I'm going to keep rotating this piece. I start spinning this 360 degrees, so if you have epilepsy, run away now, because you're going to have a seizure if looking at me spinning this around. I tilt it for no reason. I feel like other artists can just keep it straight page like that and draw properly, but I need to turn this thing every which way, right? Okay, maybe let me erase that. We'll just lighten this up quite a bit. A little bit bigger brush, and then we'll go in like that. See, now that I'm not turning, I'm like arching my head 400 degrees. That was an unnecessary line. Okay. Then we're going to get a much smaller eraser. We're going to clean up the line art. Just getting rid of the unnecessary gray and black smudginess. I can see clearly now, the smudge is gone. So from there, finish that line, and erase this line. Okay. I feel like it still makes sense for the most part. Now I don't know if I want to keep it disconnected, because I can't tell if the left bang, like this here, is more cloud-like, or if this one is, with the individual strands of hair. I'm thinking... Not very much, I have very little brain cells, but I'm thinking. You know, I think maybe I'll curve him. Not as much as the other one, but just a little bit. We can separate the strands just a little tiny bit. like so. Ba-da-da-da. So let me curve this one a little bit more, because I feel like perhaps that one is too blunt, which isn't helping the shape. There we go. And then from here, we're gonna just keep polishing. Keep erasing all these unnecessary lines. There we go. Okay. From there. Maybe let me reshape this just a little bit. Just a tad bit of reshape in the jaw, because I don't want it to be too sharp. Okay, now we can move on back to the hair. So from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and then, let's see. So line art like that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna just keep erasing. Okay. From here, do I add another line on the inside to make it look like it's curving? I think maybe. Perhaps. Also, God, my iPad is getting stuck. I feel like it's gonna fall. Let me lower the brightness a little bit. There we go. It's not as bright for me, so it's not using up as much power, but you guys can still see it, right? Yeah. I just had to look at the stream preview there. So we'll keep erasing. Listen for a song dead inside, 'cause you know it. I should probably not start humming Amazon music. That is not gonna end well. I'm gonna get my arse sued in court. I hear they're very bad on copyright. Okay, so we'll add another curvy bit here. Well, if I said I'd stop and I immediately continued, Sheshire, stop talking. Be quiet. Shut up, Sheshire. Okay, from here, we'll just, you know, erase that, shape it for absolutely no reason. Are you drawing on one layer? Maybe. Maybe I am. Perhaps. It's one or two, right? I might be doing maybe one for color, and then one for the line art at most. Sometimes I do different layers, sometimes I do one. I'm kind of all over the place. I think for this one, because I'm doing two different versions, I might do more than one layer, because I kind of have to if I do two different versions of it. But I mean, yeah, my sketch and line art is basically the same thing. I feel like it's easier for me because I'm really, really messy. So I'll just make like a rough sketch, and then I can just kind of clean it up as I go. I have stuff that's one layer, too, like this. Let me go, okay. You know what, show and tell time. Chat, follow me. Down to the Amelie section. Like that was one layer. And that was just like with a colored brush all over the place. I feel like I need to do something like this again. That was fun. That's Miss Amelie, or Monarch. If any of y'all are heard of her, she's lovely. And then I have Like, most of my other stuff has at least a couple layers. Like, that was a more recent one, but it has, like, a line art and a shading layer. Right? I guess it just depends on the day. I'm a bit of a weirdo. Right? I think we just flip a quarter and that's what the layer's gonna be. Like, I had... Ooh, there was a Mataro one, too. The Halloween one. This one was one layer. And that was the same thing, just like a colored brush. I feel like I need to do that more, because it has, like, a nice painting feel to it. Used to paint back in the day, but it's been a while. Okay. Now back to Miss Schmugglana. Yeah, and anybody who's been around for, like, maybe the past month or so would have seen this one. Like, this is Smugglana, her fiery one. That one has a couple layers to it. That is liner and some shading. But I feel like this one almost would have been better if I did it with one layer, because I feel like if it was painted on, it would have looked nicer. Could have done more detail. But yeah, it also has layers because I can turn it into her icy version. Right. Alrighty. So back to this. Drawing the air Smugglana. Sky Fox. Oh my god, I love those emotes. You be careful, I'm gonna gobble your emotes up. Okay, I feel like maybe I make the hair. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna curve the hair like this. I'm gonna make it smaller. And I'm gonna arc it like that. I'm gonna curve the hair like that. And then that way I can bring it down. I probably should just warp this. I don't know why I didn't. I still barely know how any of the tools in this program work. I'll bring this down too. And then that way I can erase this. And then I will have the hair maybe come up a little bit lower. Like so. Like the hair is coming up here instead. Right? Maybe. Why did you stop straightening out? Like that, yeah. And then we can have this bump, which is going to be more of the hair coming down. Then we can erase more of this crap. Because I feel like if we have this big hair poofy stuff coming up front, that's going to be blocking it anyways. Okay, so then from there, what we're gonna do is maybe finish the, I'm gonna finish the hair before I move on to anything. Shut up, Sheshire. Stop being difficult, just finish the hair. And sorry, I'm rotating the canvas a lot. Like I'm gonna give you guys a seizure. I need to have like a trigger warning on this canvas. Okay. So from here, I'm just gonna make it kind of curvy, swirly, I don't know, like fluffy, lighter hair. I don't know what this bit is here. I'm gonna just erase that. Why don't I just make this taller? Yeah, you know what, just make this bit taller. And get rid of that. Okay. from here. Maybe we can polish up the... We'll do this, we'll polish up more of the hair up here. Gonna get rid of the excessively thick lines for no reason. Okay, get the eraser out, make sure it's at the appropriate size. La 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 la. Now, I don't know if this line was meant to be intentional or not, but I feel like I'm going to keep it. Half the time it's me scribbling on the page, and then me in like 5 hours looking back and being like, what the hell was I doing? What the fuck was that line? So I don't know which ones are intentional or not, because past Sheshire is a weirdo. We'll just roll with it. We'll roll with it and see what happens. We'll improvise. Okay. So from there, erase more of the lines here that make absolutely no sense, just cleaning it up. More of that fluffiness, just cleaning up all the lines here by the hair. And then, try to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. So I feel like I could definitely go either way with this. I don't necessarily know what half of these lines are for. So what we're going to do instead is just erase this. You know, if the lines are too confusing, just get rid of the lines. And then, you know, maybe we'll have like a bump in here. Make it more cloudy, right? Light, airy. Hair like that. We'll erase this dark stuff here. Oakley dokley. Also, God, I've already burned through 2 cough drops. Now then, do I keep going? Like that? Do I have maybe... Nope, that was not the brush, that was the eraser. Do I arch the hair like this maybe and keep going? Or just have it like behind the neck, like this? No, I don't know about that, that just seems weird. Maybe instead we have some more hair rolling this way, perhaps. We're just improvising, chat. We don't necessarily know what we're doing. A line like this. You know what? Yeah. And then I can erase this here. I mean, this is just going to have to be dark. Right? That's where the bangs are going to go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I feel like I like that. We'll add some sort of extra swirliness here. Erase this bit, right? I feel like I'm checking what my other layer was, because I said I was only working on one. I don't want to lie to y'all. Oh, that's just a sketch. That was a really rough sketch. Never mind. Yeah, it is still basically one layer. Da, 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 da. No, I'm in the wrong layer. God damn it. This is why I don't like working with multiple layers, because then it gets confusing. Make that bump a little bit smaller. And then this way, I'll erase that. And then we can thin the lines on the neck a little bit. I'll make the neck way smaller. I'll add another line here. I feel like it's way too big. I'll have a necklace around it so it won't look as big. I know right now it looks like a giraffe neck, but it's gonna be probably like a compensate. We'll make a really, really big necklace. I don't know, it's from flying, right? She's a flying fox, which means there's less gravity, which means, I don't know, she's taller. She's long. It's okay, we'll have a big necklace. I don't know if I want like a cloud sort of a thing, like a big thing, and then we'll have like drapesy jewelry mixed stuff. I don't know about that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So from there, keep polishing the rest of the hair. We'll do this. Just tidy up like that. Now then, need to figure out what the hell it is I'm doing with the hair. Should I? Does it arc that way, or does it arc down like this, and then that? They meet here. Let's zoom in, inspect, enhance. Okay, I see. So technically it can meet like this, right? Curved like that. Dun, 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 dun. There's like lots of little slashes right now because I was planning to, because when you make hair fluffy, there's lots of like little lines that come out like this and like that and all that sort of a thing, right? So those I'm going to add later, but for now, we're going to leave it the way it is. Okay, so from here, erase that bit. Da, da, Is that too much eye coverage? Maybe I should do less eye coverage. Go back to this line here. Da, 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 da. Okay. So then, I'm just gonna add another arc to it there. Extend that hair, or extend this hair, there we go. Like so, there we are. Maybe we'll stretch the eye a little bit that way. There we go, I feel like it wasn't as big, so now it's a little bit bigger. And then clean up this line. Okay. So from here, let's just review. We have the eye that we can clean up, like the right ear, or our right, her left ear. We're just taking an inventory. We're taking a little stock of what it is we're doing. Okay, and then we'll do the sleeves after that. We'll do some kind of a neck thing. Actually, you know what, let me do some research. I'm just going to look up maybe a couple references now. Or maybe let me... Is that still alright? Let me full screen. Is that making a difference? Okay, you know what? Because I also am trying to think about what kind of jewelry that she would want. Because there's always some kind of band around the neck, right? There's a band there. And there's a band here. Some kind of tie. But usually it's not too big. It's something relatively small. So I'm thinking, I don't know if there was one like a fluffy, kind of like cloud sort of a tie around the neck, right? And then we kind of have like a raindrop sort of a pattern falling down to connect to the kimono. To hold it up? I don't know. Right? You know what I do know is that we should continue with this. We're going to go back to the eye. We're not going to waste any time. Focus, Sheshire. Focus. And the greatest protectors. Okay. Erase that bit. Erase this bit, because that's unnecessary. Do I add another bit there? Because I could add another line, right? Like that, because I feel like in the original one, the hair is a little bit further over, and I don't know... Oh god, I zoomed out too far. Let's refocus, okay? Everybody focus. Because from far away, you can't really tell, but if you zoom in, it's not going to line up perfectly, because the cheek goes up like this, basically. And there's always that, like, bit of hair strandiness up there. So maybe what I do is I just arch this, and I add a little bit more hair, right? Would that help? Maybe that would help. Or, do I bring down the bangs like this? I feel like both are fine either way. So what we're going to do, maybe I'll leave that curviness to the side, and then I bring this bang up like that, right? And then that way, put this like this. Erase that with the eraser. And that way, if we trace the line from the cheek that goes up like so, it still logically makes sense, right? It's close. It's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. However, that will actually make sense. Okay. So maybe let's move on to the proper eye itself. I feel like she always has that swoop in her hair, and I don't know. Let's check the other reference, the Fire Lana. There is that swoopiness that I maybe want to keep. A small brush. Well, no, that was not a small brush. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry. Maybe a little bit of a smaller brush. A little bigger. Let's try that. Maybe make this smaller. Okay. Erase. Dun, 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 dun. How's that? Trace the line. Erase the rest of it, because we can add those like flicks of hair to make it look fluffy later. We don't have to do that now. Okay, I feel like what we're doing is a little contradictory, because the hair curves like that. I mean, I know it's like 7 pixels, and you guys can't technically see it properly, but I can for the most part, so sorry about that. So the hair should be going this way, right? They should kind of be falling into each other like this. So does that mean I should maybe add like another bit here that comes down like so? And then that way, it won't feel as strange, right? think there's more than one thing that swoops down from that side. That also begs the question if I should bring this little, like, loopy thing further down like that. No, why did it straighten out? Stop straightening out. Something further down like that maybe make more sense? I don't know. Or I leave it up there, right? We just leave it. That's fine. You can also make this smaller, maybe that'll help. And then we just do this with the hair like so. We can have the hair arc up like this. Erase that. Have that little spike. We'll start tracing more lines in it, dividing the hair. Okay, now we'll erase this. I mean, even her original one has the hair split like that, so there's nothing that can be done. Okay, we'll erase that. And then we'll stretch this line out. Maybe. How is that? No. Let's redo this. Okay. So from there. You know what, there we have the swoopy hairstyle. More lines up here to help. Right? I don't know what it is, but I feel like if anybody's played or seen Fire Emblem, this almost gives like Camilla hairstyle or face to me. I don't know what it is, maybe it's subconscious from my time playing it. Okay, let me grab some more water and pop another cough drop like it's candy. Remember to stay hydrated, folks. I keep forgetting to mute myself. Hopefully you guys did not hear that. I also don't understand, that's another thing I saw recently, where there was a clip of someone where they like hated the taste of water. How do you dislike the taste of water? There shouldn't be a taste to water. Like, I feel like if you do not like the taste of water, something is seriously wrong with your taste buds, and or you need help. Like, you must have been raised on the most disturbing chemical cocktails known to man. Okay, maybe let's polish some of this too. Okay. Dun, dun. So god, my laptop is hot. It feels like I'm gonna explode. Some water tastes rusty? Okay. If you are drinking rusty water, you need a filter. You either need a filter on your tap, or you should stop drinking it. Because I feel like water shouldn't have a taste. Because usually rusty water means it's hard water, which is just not enough filtration on it. You put a Brita filter on that crap and you're good, right? Get some water softener salt. Because I know there's people, unless it's like an energy drink or something like that with like a really strong flavor, they will not touch it. I don't know, I'm weird because I don't drink many other things. Like, tea is probably the only other drink other than water. You tried it in a remote... Okay. There you go, you tried the rusty water in a remote village. Because for a lot of my life, I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's not the taste of your own... Okay, maybe it's not the taste of the water, but the taste of your own mouth and it's dirty. That'd be disgusting. You know what? Oh, God. Like, the person just has such poor hygiene that water tastes bad because it doesn't have a strong enough flavor to mask that. Oh, God, that's nasty. Almost, that does kind of make sense, though, right? Because, I mean, even in back when I lived out in the middle of nowhere, we had well water. And it wasn't too bad, but given we had a filter on it, so it probably was filtered to hell and back before we ever drank anything from it. But water from the ground shouldn't honestly taste all that bad, unless it's been polluted or touched by mud. Yeah, scrape their tongue. They need a toothbrush. Like, if you're so nasty, you're making the water taste bad, you need to seek therapy. You need an exorcism. Never mind basic hygiene. You need to get the demons possessing you out of you. Okay, we'll erase that here. It's at the bottom of the ear. No, that's just more cloud. Okay. So let's fix this eye. What did I do with the other one? I was gonna say, yeah, I'm from hell. I'm the devil's not so funny jester, which means I know my fair share about it. They got them stinky demons up in there making them all nasty. You gotta get a priest. Gotta get the priest in the house there, and he goes, "The power of Christ compels you. Om nomine Patris Spiritus Sanctus Christus Corpe." Oh my god, you have the cross emote. Okay, do I do that, or do I have the eyebrows more fluffy-like? You know what? No. No, we're not doing fluffy-like, because none of their outfits are fluffy. The eyelids are not. We'll keep them relatively stable. Unlike my mental. So I find myself changing how I draw a little bit just recently. From back when I played Persona a little bit, I haven't finished it, I need to do that. The art style bled into how I draw eyes, because I know I spent a whole day just like studying the different eyelids. I loved the art style so much. So now there's a little bit of that when I draw. Like, not a lot, it doesn't look too similar, but there's a tiny bit in the way I draw eyes shape that has changed. Maybe let's make this smaller. Flatten this IO. I don't know why I rotated the canvas 360 degrees. Sorry about that. Or I guess it's 180. I don't know math. I'm an idiot. There we go. So we're adding detail to the eye. Why not? I mean, it's not really noticeable from far away, but I like being difficult and causing myself trouble, so we're just gonna add detail for no reason. Okay. A little tiny line. Smaller. There we go. itty bitty tiny lines. Maybe we can erase some of this. And there is an element of white in the iris that she has. There we go. Okay. So from there, no, that's way too big. Oh dear God. Make this smaller. Ba-da-da-da. Does that work? Maybe that does not work. Okay, let's try this instead. Another one with like the hair, the eyelid. Nope. Nope, the eyelid, please. There we go. And then the last one is something like this. Why is it so small? Okay, we're gonna continue like that. I feel like this is fine. Maybe a little bit darker, but we can fill it in with some black and gray there, whatever. We'll leave some room for more colors though. Clean this up, maybe make that too far. I feel like I'm making her look way older just with the eyes alone. Pride of Troy. Okay. Like that, maybe. Maybe we'll extend it out and that'll help with the way it looks. Although I don't know if that's necessarily putting lipstick on a pig. It's me, I'm the pig. Does that? I mean, we'll get to the tail and the rest of it later, but just gonna, you know, we're gonna rotate this and I'm just gonna try and get this eye right. Sorry, but we're gonna have to erase part of it. Maybe erase this too. We're just going to clean all this up, right? Make these lines much neater, and then that way it's not going to look all that weird when it finally fix it. Okay. There we go. Clean this up. Now what the hell am I doing? Get rid of the rest of the eyelids. Let's redraw this, okay? So if I have like a little bit there, maybe arch the actual shape of the eyelid. I know this is 3 pixels, but I'm just trying to see. Like that, right? Maybe like this. And then one like this, right? Further down. And then one up here. And then we're just going to clean this up. I'm going to get rid of that line too. That line is completely unnecessary. I don't know why that's there. Begone, thought. Okay. Like that. And then maybe let's color in with a tiny bit of black, perhaps. We're going to take some of this color. Never mind. My hand has a mind of its own. Okay, we're going to take some of this color. We're going to fill this in here. Fill in like that. Maybe fill in this eye. I can erase a little bit for highlights. Just trying to see. Okay, let's erase these under the eyelids. We'll do them in black first, and then I can erase them to add color. just feel like, okay, maybe let's just raise the whole eye shape. We'll go higher up like this, and then I can erase and carve out part of it like that. Okay, I feel like maybe that eye looks a little bit better. It's a little goofy. I'm gonna be honest, it's a tiny bit goofy. We'll zoom out. Let's just see. Does that? I don't know if that looks too big necessarily from far away. Right? I don't know necessarily if that's just my style making it look weird. Like from here, let's try and maybe make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more anime-y. Not too much. Because I still recognize I'm not going to be able to match the artist's art style. But you know what? Okay, let's do that. And then from here, we're going to do a little bit of this. There we go. It's going to help match. Okay, you know what? I think that works. That works out a little bit. It's fine. From there, we have the shape of the eye. So God, let me pop another cough drop. I'm 3 down. Okay. Not even 2 hours in and I've gone through 3 of these. It's from all the talking. I need to drink more water. I run my mouth like an idiot. Well, I just keep talking. I can yap. That's one thing I can do. Back in the day, I worked alongside people who were probably 3 times my age. I can yap. Okay, there we go. So from here, we are going to arch it up. Maybe we have that last bit. We'll move this forward, like so. And then I can erase that. And then because this whole thing is moved up, I can erase this bit. Okay, and then we'll just finish the line back to where the hair was. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Go back to here. Finish that line. Okay. So maybe now we can do the eyebrow and the other eye stuff. Or do I add like a little tiny... I don't know why I spun it, if that does anything, but you know what, why not? Or, maybe, you know, let's do what I learned from Persona. So we're going to take this line, we're going to make a small line a little bit further away from the eye. No, stop curving. I mean, stop being straight. I need the line curved. Like so. Maybe. I feel like that's fun. We'll keep it like that. I like that. And then we'll add the eyebrows. I don't know if I made them too big. Like, I feel like this is pretty small for me, but compared to anime eyes, that is massive. There we go. We'll just curve this down like so. Stay like that. Come on. Stop being weird. And then we'll clean it up. And then I don't know if I'm going to try and like copy and paste the eye or if I just draw the other one. I don't know. Maybe we try copying and reflecting it. Okay, so from here, let me, we're gonna grab it, this eye shape, because I do like it. And what we are going to do is we're going to click copy and paste, take this, uniform, flip it, perfect. Now, that looks incredibly stupid, however, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust it just a tad bit, rotate, we're going to maybe change the eye shape. See, I don't normally do this. Normally I just draw it, but I'm debating. We're gonna try something. I'm gonna get rid of this because the eye would not look like that. We're just gonna shape, because I like that shape, but I mean it's pixelated anyway, so I'm gonna have to redraw most of it, just so I know roughly how things line up. Okay, erase part of it, and I'll redraw on top. For some reason, this app likes to turn anything that you copy into a pixelated mess. And this would not be visible. Okay. Now, if I had an eye coming from there, the other eye would also be like that. Start off bigger and then I can make it smaller after that. I mean, that's... no. I mean, it's covered for the most part anyway, so let's bend this down. Do I even? Do I even keep most of that? I mean, it's like, I feel like I could erase part of this, basically, because it's going to be behind the eyes anyways. I don't know, I feel like I'm weird about anime styles, because usually you would have the eyes poking through the eyebrows, but I don't know, let's try this. Rotate it a little bit up. Broaden it, and then adjust the shape. So I feel like it'd be too easy to just copy paste and flip it. I have to do things the hard way. Let's get rid of the eye because that doesn't look right. Okay, that looks better. So what we're gonna do way too big of an eraser. Let's redraw that. Make it a little bit bigger. Erase this. Okay. And then just the outline a little bit thicker. Like so. See, I feel like it's not as bad as just purely copy-pasting because I spend so much time editing it that it's basically not the same eye anymore. So now, from there, erase back to the inside again. I'm going to compare finally before I merge it back down. Okay. So let me, erase more of this. We're going to go down like so. Okay. erase that. There we go. Mayhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps this will work? So let me go here and let me erase that eye. What the hell did I... Okay, I just clicked on something I shouldn't have clicked on. There we go. I'm gonna erase parts of the eye from this layer now. Okay, keep erasing, just keep erasing, just keep erasing, da 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 da. Then, if I merge that down, I can keep editing it. Okay, I feel like part of this isn't going to be as clear. We're going to make it a little bit later. There we go. Let me get rid of that iris in the middle, because that wasn't properly aligned. Interesting. Let me put some gray in there, and then we can figure out what it is we're doing. We'll erase back in the iris here, make it white. No, it needs to be further down and more to the right. I said more to the right, not to the left. Let's do that. Okay, you know what? I feel like that should be fine. Got this right? Might as well have drawn a whole other eye. I'll just have some like eyebrow arching, be like here. Okay, something like this I think feels makes sense. And then we can erase that. Ba, ba, ba. Maybe I just have to rotate this eye completely. Just pivot it this way. Because there is that sort of head tilt going on. Did I shrink it? I feel like, okay, maybe that's the issue. I feel like maybe I shrinked the eye. So let's bring it out a little bit. Okay, I feel like that works better. And then we can finish cleaning up around here. Okay. Have that bang like that. Get rid of all this excess. There's no reason to have that gray and shading stuff there. I'll just leave it blank for now. I can add the other iris later. Okay, so from there, let's do the other ear. Okay, we'll polish up. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, now that I cleaned up that, do I need to touch anything else up here? Not really, I probably don't have to. So we'll erase this. Okay, you know what, maybe I bring this up in the background. The hair, we'll just elevate that a little bit. Yeah, why not? Okay. So then from here, let's erase and carve out the ear shape, make it a little bit more fluffy. I also don't want to make the ear too disproportionately large, but I feel like it just looks larger because of the clouds that are in it. It isn't actually that it looks, well, it isn't actually bigger, it's mostly just the clouds that gives it the illusion of seeming bigger. So let's kind of puff this one out a little bit. Okay. From there, can erase all this out because this is going to be like clouds and fluff and stuff on the inside. How are you guys doing on a Friday night? How are we holding on so far? Everybody alright? Keeping hydrated and resting and relaxing? Nobody's busy running around doing anything anymore? Hopefully this is the end to a busy week for you guys and you get to finally take a rest, but... Oh, for God's sakes, my computer's trying to sabotage me. YouTube? Hello? Can I move? Is it gonna let me move? Load. Load, please. Excuse you. You're gonna do your job? There we go. I'm alive. I'm alive. Oh, thank God. Okie doke. So then from here, we can add a cloudy sort of filling on the inside, which is the ear fluff. Or maybe we can have it lower, like it arched out lower on this side, and it was higher on the other side. Right? Okay, we'll erase that. Get going from there. Carve out that cloud pattern. Well, not cloud pattern, we're just filling it with white, and then I can do the cloud stuff afterwards. Maybe we'll add a little bit more here because I feel like the right side is much thicker. This is smaller, so let's compensate by doing that here with the cloud. I feel like that makes more sense. Let's do that over here. There we go. That way the swirl is kind of incorporated with the ending of it. Or do I do like this and then swirl it outwards? You know what? Make them like opposites. Why not? And we're gonna make it out like this. Yeah, there we go. Good cloud, and it puffed up this way. And a little cloud, and then we can have a tiny flick at the end, something like this. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. We can have this big cloud like this here, and that connects to the little swirls. And then that way the patterns are a little bit different between the two ears. Doesn't feel like they're the exact same thing. Or maybe I have the swirl go behind the ear. Uh-huh. Maybe that's the trick. Okay. There we go. So from there, I feel like there's more on this side we can do with the hair. Like the curly bits. I don't know if I was too early jumping the gun with this swirly bit here, but I feel like I can go out like that. Yeah, let's get rid of that swirly part. Or maybe, you know what, there's just an extra swirly bit on this side. For fun. Why not? There we go. And that way at least it's not like the effort was previously put to waste. Okay, from here we'll erase this little flippy dip thing. I have no idea what words are. And then there we go, we can have the curls at the end behind it. Like so. And then we can clean up the liner. I'd have drawn. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay. Just seeing, I just needed to clean up this lineup basically, so we're line art. My apologies, I don't know why I said lineup. We're gonna flip the canvas again, and then continue to erase. And then go out this way, like so. And then proceed to polish. Dun, dun, dun. Now let me see how I did it on the other end. Of course, it's covered up by the little hair rolly bit. Whatever am I to do? Do I have this sort of dragging down behind? Mayhaps. Though I don't necessarily know how productive that would be, or how good it would look. Or maybe I just leave it kind of like a hair wing. Like that. Okay, and then I can have the hair, this bit curl up like that. No, that is way too much. We'll just do a little bit. Yeah, I'm finally gonna try. Okay. Now we'll clear up the extra dark lines that are sitting here and taking up way too much space. They are not paying rent. Okay, from there, what are we doing? Is that too much? I don't know if that's too far out. I feel like from here, from here to here isn't so bad, but then from here, from like here to here? So I feel like I need to make it smaller, like it goes to there instead. Or maybe we just have it much softer, like it goes like this. And then this basically just ends up kind of like this without curling. Right? There's maybe a little bit of asymmetry on the sides. Not too much, but just a tiny bit. You know, just a little bit of asymmetry to add some flavor. I don't know why I made this upside down. Does it serve a purpose? Maybe. Will we find out eventually? Probably not. Okay, like that. Because then I feel like that way we still have these little like hair swoopy things here on both sides, even though it's not perfectly symmetrical, but they're still there. Okay, like this. There we go, like that. Is that okay? Or you know what, just end it here. That's what I should be doing. Just make it bigger, not longer, and erase that. So all I need to do is keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate life, keep it simple. Erase all of these, right? Okay. There we go, and then I'll just polish off this bit. Crap, I didn't realize that that was still there. Let me erase that. Okay, that line's gone. And then from here, there we go, that eraser bit it's done with. And that's the last of the lines that need to be cleaned up. Okay, I think that's fair. I'm out of another cough drop. God damn, I'm running through these quickly. My apologies. Let me grab some water. And then we'll move on to the rest of the outfit, and we'll be much closer to being finished. No, that can still very much be hidden. There we go. The ear should be behind. Okay. From there, let's get rid of this. Fix the bangs. Oh my god, I feel like there's much more to do than I thought there would be. This is perhaps a miscalculation on my part. Didn't realize how messy I am. Okay. So now, get a small eraser, go in here. Okay. Keep erasing. There we go, I'll just keep erasing. Or do I just connect it like that? I feel like, you know, that works fine. There's no reason to overdo it with the curves. Okay, I feel like the head for the most part is fine. The head's done. Right? Exception of the eye. Okay, let's do this. And then erase just this really small brush. Yeah, it's fine. And then we'll fill the background like so. Okie doke. Dun, dun. And light would be coming from outside. Okay, you know what? There we go. That kind of works a little bit better. And then what we're going to do from there is normally Alana has these kind of hair clips, at least in her original one, so I was thinking we add one like right here and it'll be a cloud, right? Kind of a cartoon swirly cloud. Alright, so that's kind of like a normal cloud thing. We're going to adjust the shape quite a bit, probably. Just want to be careful necessarily as to where I place it. Let me give her a drink and then think about it. Sorry, shocked my microphone. Okay. I think I figured it out. He says, as he definitely has not figured it out. Never mind. Okay. There we go. We'll just get the swirls in there to make it look more cloud-like, I think. No, why did it straighten? Stop straightening. Okay, so from there, maybe I can make that swirl a little bit smaller. Let's shrink this. Let's shrink this a little bit. Make it into a tiny, tiny swirl. Stop straightening. I swear to God, iPad, I need you to cooperate. And that starts with you not trying to ruin everything I draw. Okay, this is really pixelated. That's okay. It's funny if I were you guys, it's not all that pixelated, but on my screen it's severely pixelated. And you can kind of see it, right? Okay, there we go. That's starting to look more cloud-like. And there we go. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know, it kind of looks cloud-like. I should hope. Okay, so from there, just thinking we'll have some jewelry dangling from it. Well, there we go. It's like a cloud-shaped hair clip. Okay. Speaking of clouds, maybe let's get rid of these stupid lines here. Fluff up this one a little bit. Now, do I feel like, no, it's not as cloud-like as the rest of it, so I should, let me change the texture. Bigger bumps and stuff, let's do that. Okay, that spin was unnecessary, but there we go. Okay, so from here, what am I gonna do? We can make the sleeves start to turn into clouds. Right? Because I feel like that's what I had in mind. We can have them start to, or even just like vapor a little bit, like they start to waver and then taper off into clouds. Or just like mist or some sort of smoke. Yeah, we'll have it kind of disappear like this. Turn into like white cloud and then it slowly just disappears into vapor. See, like that, is that? Is that weird? You know what? No, it works. I'll just fill this out more. Okay. And then we have that little white trail, basically. That'll taper off like this. And then this one, which also tapers off like that. There we go, it tapers off like smoke. Okay. So from here, what can I do? I mean, I could do the tail, or we could straighten out the sleeves, which I feel like is also probably a good idea. You know what? Let's do that. Let a little bit more cloudiness back here, because I can also see that. There we go. Some more kind of cloudy, trailing off into vapor and mist back here. And then that way. The rest of the sleeve can just be cleaned up like that. No, get a much smaller brush. And adjust this. Okay, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. And then the under part of the sleeve is going to be pulled a little bit forward so you can actually see that there. Okay. There we go. Let's see, how did she end up doing it? Right, they kind of, or at least it sort of fell together, basically. Cover it like that. There we go. Okay, there we go. The underlayer, that little sort of material right there. We'll erase it and just draw that out. And you know, I can erase this part here and we'll flatten the rest of it out. Because there isn't really much reason to keep it. Okay. Like that. Right, the kimono's still falling out. Keep that in there. Okay. I feel like that makes sense. Then we will, let's see, continue cleaning up all this bit here, that bit, a little smudging and stuff, it's fine. Get rid of that. I should remember that I need to put a pattern on this. I also need to get into like creating my own brushes. I need to figure out how to make certain patterns and that sort of thing. I need to look it up. Can't do it for right now, but it's definitely useful to have because I know there's like the god damn it, zoom in. Like there's the material textures and that sort of thing here, which get used. And they also usually have bits at the end of them, so should I have... Should I have like a hanging bit here? Maybe we'll do some kind of sun drop thing here. Right. Feel like that works, and then take this and just start to carve it out. there. We'll just kind of erase the structure into it. It's more of like a gold jewelry embroidery sort of a style to it. Just need to figure out what it is I'm going to do for that. Yeah, let me do that. I'll do this. No, redo that. Okay. Now then, we'll erase this bit on the inside then, and then we'll have it kind of be like that weird shape. Just for fun, why not? The more you have unnecessary holes and all that sort of thing, the more ornate something looks. And let's do a bump like this. Okay. Now I can do that with the other ones. I feel like that's such a tiny detail. It almost feels like a waste of time, but it's okay. Because I like being difficult. Okay, and almost feel like from this one, what I can do is we'll make like a point on the inside just to contrast. Okay. Maybe? No, that doesn't work out. We're just gonna leave the point like that. Keep it simple, stupid. I mean, even if we're trying to be ornate, there's no reason to go overboard. So let me just cover this in darkness so I can keep working with the eraser tool. Okay. There we go. We're just gonna keep this all in one gold piece. Yeah, we don't need to separate it, that's fine. So then from there, just keep carving it out into the actual clothing. Okay. Let's see if that works. Does it? And then there we go, I can erase the rest of it. Now this is starting to look a little bit better. Sorry, I was just concentrating for a minute there. I can panel out the rest of the sun on that, and then I don't know if I'm going to copy it to the other one, because I don't see another place where the other one would actually have a spot for it. Like, the end starts to fade, unless we were talking, like, maybe right here. Like, right before it disappears. There'd be room. You know, I could do that. Okay, let's try that. There we go, I'll just keep that gold. Like that. Just keep erasing the outline, okay. And then like the insides here, like the inside in the reference photo, this doesn't have to be complicated, we'll just add like 1 or 2 dots. And we can just assume it'll all be filled in with gold, basically. And that is our ornate sleeve ending looking thing. I feel like it's not too bad, considering we just improvised a random looking sleeve. Alright, there we go. Sleeve like that. And then, okay, if that pops out a little bit, and then I can erase this. Or would this be the same thickness? Let me reduce the brush size and we'll just make this all the same thickness then, because the actual metal part on it, the medallion, wouldn't be too far apart. It's mostly just the clothes that are being a little bit thinner. There we are. And then what I can do instead this time, just kind of copy and paste what we've already done. Do the classic move. Wait, okay. Erase this, erase it, make sure. There we go. So I'm going to lighten this up a little bit and lighten that up. Lighten this up. We're going to copy this. Copy and paste. Pivot. Pivot. There we go, just like that. Let me redo that. Okay, erase this bit here. Okay, let me erase that and then we can merge it down. There we go. And then there we go, the rest of the ornate pattern sort of just does itself. Sorry, I'm really concentrating with this part for some reason, I don't know why. And then it's really pixelated, so we'll retrace it. Okay, just as lines here. Nope, those are way too thick. Sheshire, what the hell are you doing? Like that, like that. Yeah, we can have that little bump here just to kind of straighten it out. Okay. And then I can kind of copy this and do that on the other edge. Grab, we're gonna flip it horizontally because the other one's facing outwards. God damn it, I made it bigger. I did not mean to do that. Grab that. Rotate it like this. Flip horizontally. There we go. And then I bring it up here. Maybe I do shrink it a little bit. Da, 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 da. Unpeeled berate. Erase that bit. Go here, we'll erase, we have to erase this part. All that shading is gonna get in the way. Also, oh my god, the lighting in my house is going crazy. Like, my apartment, all the light went on and off, back and forth, and I don't know why, because it's happening more and more recently, and I don't know what the hell is wrong. It's a little disconcerting, but that's okay. Arch down. And we're gonna grab this and just rotate a little bit. You know, it's fine. Maybe this one just ends. No, I feel like that doesn't make sense. Unless we cut both of them off early, which may honestly not be a bad show. Like I cut this off like that. There we go, something like that. Okay, just like so. And then I can do it on the other end. Or if we have, right, an ending like this. And I will erase this bit here. Also, God, the song is reminding me now. I don't know about y'all, but at least for me it was snowing really, really bad where I was for the past couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden it got extremely hot out of nowhere. So it feels like it's in the middle of summer, and I absolutely hate it. I am such a cold and snow person. Like, you know what? Give me 1 second. We're changing this music. Enough of that summertime garbage. No, thank you. No. Let's try this. Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know wheel, but for some reason that just gets on my nerves. I don't know what it is, I'm weird. There we go, now we're back. Dun, dun, dun. Move the reference out of the way so I can actually select my eraser size. There we go. Okay. I'll try and undo the pixelation on it and just clean it up as much as I possibly can. Because for some reason that got extremely pixelated out of nowhere. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. I'm just going to erase this bit here and we're finished with that little cap on the end of the sleeve. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's not all that much detail when you zoom out, which is unfortunate, but like, come on. It's important. Every little bit is important, and I'm particular. And I can probably just copy that onto the other sleeve, that's fine. So then from there, I can have, so she has a tassel like that. Same thing with this one, it's always some kind of tassel. So I feel like I could do like a cloud tassel. Let's do that. Come on. Yeah, something like this. That'll maybe work better. We'll do that. And then we'll have some kind of tassel-y bit. Maybe make the tassel a little bit bigger. I don't know why I say tassel. I haven't even drawn the tassel yet. I've drawn like the little nib hook thingy that's going to connect to the tassel. There we go. And then erase that. Okay, so from there, now I can actually draw the tassel. So maybe we'll do a cloud shape like this, perhaps. Maybe that's what holds the tassel. We have something like that. Come on. Right? And then we can have like a hole here, like these are loops. God damn it, that is way too big, but that's okay. Okay. Or maybe, instead, because I feel like I could leave... Let's not overcomplicate this. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Just hollow it out. We'll make the hole bigger, actually. Pin here, and this is where the cloud is coming from. It's all connected in there. There's no reason to overdo it. Maybe like a little tiny hole. Like that. Okay. That little bulb there. Right? I'm spinning this for no reason. Okay. And that way we have this little spinny thing for a cloud. I think that makes sense. Do I do more swirls, or do I just leave it like that? Because I don't want to overcomplicate it, but... Okay, you know what? Like this. We get the eraser in. Like so. Then we'll have a little swirl down here. Stop straightening, I swear to God, I did not give you permission to straighten. Or, you know what, we'll make a rounder like that. And then from here we'll have maybe like a little droplet mark. Rain or something like that, and then that's where the tassel is coming out of. There we go, we'll have a hole in it here. And it'll be connected like a clip almost on top of it. We're just concentrating, and then I can add two little tiny ones here. They won't end up really doing anything, but we'll just add like a little loop. Another little raindrop for fun. And then same thing, like a little loop here, circle. Another raindrop. Like that. And then here we go. And there are the tassels. There we go. Add a tiny bit of shading in there, tassels. Come on. I mean, I don't really need to do that. It's mostly just the line art, so there shouldn't be, but just kind of helpful later, trying to know what I'm going to be doing. Okay. Do I widen the tassels and have them push past the clip like this? Or do I try and respect it? You know what, let's try. Let's try and thin it out. There we go. Yeah, maybe I make the tassets a little bit bigger. Something like that, perhaps. Get a little bit of that edge from underneath. Okay. And then I can basically do the same thing on the other side. Grab a bit of water and we'll copy paste that. And then I was debating, but I think this one actually will not have leggings like our original one does. But then I feel like the fire variant doesn't, and I don't see a reason why the wind variant would. Okay, let's erase here. Give it some room. And then we're going to select and copy this whole bit. Right, like this. Copy and paste. Grab, excuse me, flip.
Is everybody in the groove? Stick around. Just warm it up, baby.
No, that would not make sense. Yeah, we'll flip it this way. And then maybe, yeah, I'll have it like that. I'll try and clean this up, but it's going to be a little pixelated anyways. Okay, now what if I grab this, select, and we'll flip this horizontally. Right, we'll twist it like that. There we go, I'll make the line smaller. Now, under here, I would need this line gone. This line, and then part of that leg gone there as well. There we go, and then I can merge this down. Something like that. Alrighty, I think at least for me here, it's getting a little bit late and my iPad is going to die soon, unfortunately. So I think that might be it for today. I'm gonna have to work on some stuff, but just a little bit on my own time. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll probably do a longer stream because I'm not really all that busy over the weekend. Maybe 2 shorter streams or 1 really, really big longer stream, and we can work on stuff together then. Hopefully you're all doing well and you have a good night. For those on Twitch, we're gonna see if I can raid into somebody and we'll find something for y'all to watch. On YouTube, unfortunately, I still don't know how that works yet, so we're gonna have to just end stream on your part, but thank you so much for coming by. Now let me see who's live. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it so much. Okay, now let's get over to my Twitch tab, your dashboard. Let's see who I'm following that's live, so you guys have somebody to still watch. I wouldn't want to leave you guys stranded without anything in the background, now would I? How the hell do I do this again? Oh, right, okay. I swear, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. Some of this is a little bit confusing for a challenged individual like myself. Have a good rest? Yeah, you as well. Okay. So let me see who I'm following. Is Charles live? So, Kimmy. No, Apex. Late with Leon. Nia. Mousy. I was gonna say, you know what? Michi Mochivi just started, XV Shoujo member. If anybody's heard of her, we'll see if we can raid into her just now. She just started up stream and she goes for ages, so you guys will have plenty to catch up on. Alrighty, let's go. Oh, no, that's not working. Okay, let me find somebody else then. That might have been a little preemptive. Kimmy's probably not going to work. That one's a sponsored stream. Damn. It's always so difficult when trying to find something like this. Let's do Kimmy. Is this going to work? Oh, yeah, let's do that. Kimmy's playing some Marvel Rivals. I love it so much. Maybe you guys are going to get some blood pumping watching a shooter. So thank you, everybody. I'll see you later. The name's Sheshire. Bye.
Extended.